To this now, National Treasury is laying the blame at the government's feet. This is for the 0.5 percentage point increase in VAT. It says the decision by government not to maintain spending cuts implemented in 2024 has forced Treasury's hand, leading to the decision to hike VAT. Now, on Wednesday, National Treasury officials leading, or should I say led, by the Deputy Finance Minister Ashor Sarupen were briefed by the Select Committee on Appropriations. Let's speak now to my colleague, Juniour Khumalo, who is in Cape Town for us, who's going to give us a wrap of what was said in these committee meetings. Juniour, good evening to you. And let's talk about National Treasury blaming government as if it is not a government department itself. How did all this play out?
Indeed, Xoli, National Treasury basically putting the blame at government's feet, basically on the VAT increase as proposed by the Finance Minister about 2 weeks ago when he did table that budget. Basically, the officials, what they were arguing was that last year there were those spending cuts that were implemented by government, meaning that there was no necessity for them from their side to basically increase any revenue. So that's why there was no VAT increase. But this time around, because there was that increase in spending by government when it comes to infrastructure, when it comes to social grants as well, then there was that need for them basically to try and make sure that they find some revenue from elsewhere. They were arguing that you cannot borrow at this stage, especially given the borrowing, the cost of borrowing that South Africa is already incurring. So the only way that they could basically make up more revenue and immediate revenue was through increasing VAT. But we did hear even the Deputy Minister of Finance, who is a DA member, he was also asked on whether he supports the budget or not, given that his party right now does not support this increase in VAT. He said what he supported was the undertaking that has been done by National Treasury over the past 2 months. As you may remember, Xoli, there was that budget that was initially expected to be tabled about a month ago. It was not tabled. Then 2 weeks ago, finally, we did get a budget that was finally tabled. But let's just take a listen to what the Deputy Finance Minister had to say.
And whatever the political differences, the team here have worked very, very hard to put together a budget, 2 budgets, in fact, for the first time. And they are very able to execute the decisions of the political office bearers to the best of their ability. And whatever the political agreements, it's a very, very capable team at the Treasury, and I'm very proud to work with them. And I do want to say that.
The Deputy Minister there saying that he supports the processes that have been undertaken by National Treasury to arrive at this point. This comes at a crucial point, Xoli, because this week quite a number of procedures in Parliament before that vote happens next week are getting underway. Today we understand that Cabinet is actually meeting where the GNU partners seek to find consensus as this budget vote is going to start next week. But also yesterday we did see the Finance Portfolio Committees, the Standing Committee on Finance, as well as the Select Committee on Finance, basically bringing together the private sector, businesses, and just getting their thoughts on this current budget. Most of the organizations, about 23 that were there yesterday, said they also do not support this VAT increase. So today what was happening before the Select Committee on Appropriations was that the National Treasury was basically presenting why it put aside allocations as it did because of the revenues that have been collected. 50% is going to national departments, 42% is going to provinces, and the rest, about 9% or so, is going to local government. A lot of the MPs basically questioning why this was the case when it comes to allocations, because the sphere closest to South Africans is actually that of local government. So there is a need to put some attention and some funding to that sphere.
Juniour Khumalo, wrapping up the day for us. Thank you very much for that update live for us in Cape Town.